phone on like low power mode, like
Yeah,
at all times, So
I'm gonna
I didn't
restart the
expect it to
record.
run out like that, but I'm all plugged in. I'm straight now. We're straight now.
Some technical difficulty, folks. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We're all
Sorry
good.
about that, guys. That's my fault. That's my fault.
It's all good. We have a half hour of tape already, dude. Like I'm stoked. We're not even started yet, and we're already kicking ass.
Yeah,
So
I figured we haven't even got into doing stuff yet. Like, so I'm glad it happened then and not later.
of course.
But yeah, let's continue.
Uh,
Let's continue.
I got one. I think I believe this is the last one. If I miss anybody, I will definitely put you in post, and I will definitely send your links to Thomas to check out. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
please do. And also, will you send these to me like in writing so I can actually like spend some time listening to this shit?
Of course, because these are fans of yours. That like everyone heard the name Thomas Erak Follow Troy, and these people
Yeah.
jumped at the opportunity to like pay for this ad. And I'm going to use. I want everybody to know that like donated to this. I'm going to use some of that money to buy something Follow Troy, Thomas Erak in the Shoreline, or just like vinyl related, just like to help him out because we all want to support the music. That's what it's all about here. You know that.
Yeah, well, just come to the Twitch streams and do all that stuff and listen to the music and come to the shows. That's enough support for
That's
me.
enough. I mean, I still want to. I mean, I just want some Fall of Troy merch for myself. I think that's the ulterior motive underneath it all.
We could make that happen. We could make that
Okay,
happen.
of course. So this last band is the Angel Like Expression, aka Tale, Tale. They have a song out right now called Bob Ross with Christian O'Neill. You can find them on Instagram at Tail the Band, and
Cool.
definitely check out their new song, Bob Ross, because the music video is really cool. If you like anime and stuff like that, like it's like really good vibe. And if you like Bob Ross, where can you go wrong? You know.
I grew up with Bob Ross. Me and my sister like doing Bob Ross paintings at my grandparents' house growing up. So yeah.
You got any of those paintings left?
My sister was really good at doing like the Bob Ross paintings. Like we'd watch the show and he'd like teach you the joy of painting. And I
Good.
wasn't good at it, but I loved him. And my sister was like super into it and was very very good at it.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all, dude. I'm super like I would actually like. I think people would pay to like watch like a live stream of you like painting with Bob Ross. I think.
I don't. I'm not. I can't. I wish I could draw better, man. That's one of those things I wish I could do.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, dude, I'm sure. Like, I mean, you've done art for like the Fall of Troy and stuff, haven't you?
No, no. Tim has. Tim has.
That's right. I knew it was someone in the band, without a doubt. Like, freaking. I still, dude. Like, even like you putting your fingers to paint, like that's art. No matter what, you're an artist. I'm sure your hands can create something, and people would love to see it, without a
I mean,
doubt.
I've definitely like had my mind in the artwork before, like as like
Mm-hmm.
like what if you did this? What if we did this? What if this was kind of the theme of things? Like for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a lot of tattoos that I never meant to get, and it's like it's self-expression. It's art. You know what I mean? So I'm into it. It's just I wish I could personally, like with my own hands, like create what was in my head better. But it's cool
Yeah. I mean,
because then
with practice, I'm
I'm
sure.
more interested in people that are talented at that.
Of course. I mean, for like, I've always found like painting, like, I'm not the greatest, but I've always found it to be a joy just to get that expression out of me, like,
For sure.
without a doubt. So I believe that is all of our sponsored ads. We can actually get into this little nitty gritty called an interview, I guess.
Well,
So,
shout out to all the people that sponsored, man, for sure. That's
yeah,
big.
without a doubt. I think this went a lot better with the sponsored ads with Andrew Wells because it's kind of like just reading a script to Andrew Wells, and like this, we kind of bounce back and forth. So I think there's definitely a market for that in the world, like with Cameo and everything. Like, bands love their like influences, and they definitely should reach out. And I mean, make a deal, man. You could probably reach out to Thomas Erak. Maybe he'd do a like commercial for you.
I mean, or maybe I'll produce your record. That's kind of the next thing I'd like to do with my life is
See,
help
look at
younger bands like, see their vision come to life. You know.
yeah. I definitely think like you're already got your mind and head into that game, and like the further you go, like it's only gonna get better for you, dude.
As long as I keep doing it, man.
I'm happy to like watch you do it, dude. Like, so let's take it all the way back to the very beginning. How did you get into music? What gravitated you towards the sound of just like hearing things and enjoying it and being like, I want to do that?
Well, probably like the earliest that I can think of, man, is my dad for sure. Like my dad was like a rhythm and blues slash like rock bass player um, growing up, you know, and but he also played piano proficiently. Was a great kind of rock soul singer. I
Mm-hmm.
played a little bit of guitar. He could hold down a groove on the drums, stuff like that. And I grew up playing. I initially grew up playing drums. Like drums was my first love, you know.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But my dad being a bass player, it's like I've always kind of been a rhythm section guy. And then I picked up playing bass, just kind of watching my dad and trying to kind of imitate what I loved about what he did, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
soon as I saw my dad on stage, it was just that feeling, that uh, hair on the back of your neck standing up, goosebumps kind of feeling, you know. And I was fucked from then, you know. It was going to be music all the way, anyway,
Yeah,
anyhow. So yeah, that's how I got started playing music. It was just kind of always it was always around. It's what I've always. It was just always the cool thing to be doing in my family.
without a doubt, dude. Like, it's in your blood. Very to put it in simple terms, I would say.
It's in my DNA.
Like it's hardwired to your brain. Like I don't think like anybody could take it out of you. You know?
Yeah, yeah. My heart too. It's very much
Yeah,
in my heart as well.
without a doubt, dude. Like you can hear that in everything you do, without a doubt. So what like kind of like pushed you towards like the kind of music you make? Like who
Uh,
influenced you to be like as an artist? Like you listen to that and you're like, I wish I was making something like that, but kind of putting my own spin on
oh man, so many things, man. So many things, Ryan. Like,
it.
it started with like it probably started with Hendrix was the first thing I heard because I was kind of new to guitar, but Mitch Mitchell was such a sick drummer, and like um, and Noel Redding on bass, and the rhythm section was so good. But Hendrix, the way he played guitar, the swag he had, the way he played, the way he put things across. That was the first time that I realized like you don't just have to play guitar. You can take guitar and you can like you really have your own voice with it. Same thing. And then I discovered Nirvana, you know, and it was like so simple. Nirvana was so simple seemingly. But I think Kurt Cobain is one of the most like underrated like guitar players I can think of, you know?
Yeah, without a doubt. He worked what he had, you know?
He was a riff king, dude, for
Yeah,
sure. He was a
without a
riff
doubt.
king, man. And
I
and
think
he knew what he was doing as much as people don't think he did. He did, know what he was doing, I think.
yeah,
I believe.
I believe that too because like I don't know. I feel like he kind of like cut into a shortcut like with the ability to like put his emotions into a riff. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and his understanding of songwriting, you know, and
Yeah.
and pop songwriting, but he loved um like stuff like the Beatles and the Stones and stuff, even into like the Coasters and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He was into pop rock of
Yeah.
like my
I
dad's day, which was
yeah.
his ability to know how to put a well written song together was very strong. Like you don't
Uh,
write In Bloom and be a crappy guitar player. Let's just
Without
put
a doubt. I don't like anyone that question. I think like a lot of people question like his music theory knowledge and like stuff like that. And I feel
I don't
like
have a lot either, man. I
yeah,
learned most of the music theory knowledge that I have from when I joined drumline in high school.
yeah,
That's when I started taking what I knew about rhythm and drums and stuff, and then had to be taught how to sight read to pass the test to get into the drum line.
of course, yeah.
So
I'm
my buddy Jay, who plays drums in Just Like Vinyl, like basically took a whole summer kind of teaching me how to see music on a piece of paper, which is still hard for me. It's still
yeah,
like I could maybe like if you put like like snare drum music in front of me or like drum music in front of me, I could figure that out pretty quick. But notation, that'd take me a while, you know. But it's
Yeah,
about seeing the bigger picture, not just like note by note, but seeing it kind of as like bodies, you know. It's all, and then I, being from a jazz background, you have a thing called like a fake book, which just like gives you the changes, you know what I mean, of the tune, and that is where kind of more I fall, because being self-taught, not so much technically taught. It's like a fake book made sense to me because all
yeah,
right, it gives me the changes. I know where the tune goes, but I get to play what I want to play inside of it, you know?
of course. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like realize, and like the people that follow like Kurt Cobain or like Nirvana or whatever, like they don't realize that he's kind of the reason why we have a more polished sound in like rock and roll, because that was kind of like the allure of it, was it was so dirty and grungy and grimy, but it was so like
It
clean
was
at
so
the
big. It was so
yeah,
big and clean and produced. And a lot of people, like, my favorite album ever of all time is In Utero. So like
yeah,
that's the dirtiest Nirvana record, because you know Albini obviously, but you listen to Nevermind. I mean, it's a monster, dude. When it comes to production, you know,
yeah.
it, it's
You got,
it's it's ultimately produced. You know,
yeah, you got to do a Nirvana song, didn't you, as a cover?
I've done a lot of Nirvana songs. I've thrown a lot of stuff like in sets and at
Yeah,
times, you know, just because Paul Troy has always kind of had this improv side of us where we like to, you know, throw things into the mix and maybe play a
yeah,
song we weren't going to play or whatever. And so
yeah,
sometimes in the middle of songs I'll throw something in. Maybe we'll cover a song. But yeah, we did a cover of Mr. Mustache on this this compilation, that actually is what got us back together to do okay.
yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah, and Daughters were on it, and
oh,
Circus
dude, that's
Driver
just
on it, and
yeah.
we signed
Working with
right
the
up. And Mr. Mustache wasn't taken yet, and that was like my
hey,
favorite song off of Bleach. So I was pretty psyched we got to do that one.
without a doubt, dude. That's just talking about it gets me all jazzed. You know, it's like it's hella
Yeah,
fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
so I I am obviously in my car at the side of the road. I mean, I'm not at the side of the road. I'm outside a house. There's like a house party tonight. They're all partying in there. I'm just
Right
like,
on, right on.
I'm focused. I'm a good lad. I mean, I had a beer or two and maybe some.
Hey man, that's where I'm at right now with you too. It's like that's what I was saying the other day. Like when we were doing the show, it was like that was I didn't realize it was gonna fall on that same day, and that was like that was a party. You know, I threw the party, so I had to go to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
without a
it's
doubt.
like whenever I want to do something like this, and with someone like yourself who I care about and believe in, it's like I want you to have my full attention, and like I want to make sure we have the best conversation we can have, man. You know?
Of course. I got that. I got that energy from it the whole time, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not stressful to me. Like, I try not to like take it like that, because I think people that treat it like that, like they kind of treat life like a competition, and it's like life's not a competition. We don't have to get time limits and time trials and shit like that. Like, time is all the
It is
time.
good. It is good to be on time, though. It is good to be
Without a doubt.
on
Without a
top
doubt.
on top of your shit, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's cool too that you understand how kind of this can go sometimes, man. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
like yeah, I'm understanding, and you get a lot more out of life when you try to just understand stuff instead of just jumping on your emotions and letting them take control over you. You know?
Big time. Well, and we've been staying in touch the last few days, and
Yeah,
so on and
without a
so
doubt,
forth.
dude. I mean, it's the humblest brag I can have, being like, yeah, I'm just texting Thomas Erak. You know that guy on Guitar Hero? You know
Yeah, yeah.
me.
I
Like,
hope
but
I hope there's more than just Guitar Hero, though. You know, to my
I
name.
think Rock Band has you.
That's my hope.
I mean, how does that make you feel? Like that, like there's a whole. I mean, I'm not like to like diminish like your accomplishments or anything. Like, of course not, because like I respect everything you've done, but there is a certain sect of humanity that only knows you from Guitar Hero. Like,
It's
how do you
great.
approach?
It's great. It's
Yeah,
great, man. Because think of it this way: like at that time, you know, the internet was just kind of starting to kick off. Radio was dying, and
mm,
Guitar Hero at that time was the biggest thing that was out. So for us having that song on that game, bigger than having a hit record at the time. You know, there were so many people that because of that video game heard The Fall of Troy and heard that song and heard our name that would have never ventured into our genre or heard our band because of it. So I'm very grateful for it.
And not to mention, you're one of the more difficult songs too. Like that's like people love a challenging song, you know, and like your song offers that to people. Like I gotta get this, I gotta get 100% on this riff, bro, or I'm gonna fail the mission. Like
So I've heard. I haven't. I've never actually played it before. I've seen it played. People try to get me to play it all the time. I'll
that would
stick
be
to the, I'll
that would
stick
be
to
an
the real
interesting
thing. You know.
that would be an interesting video for your Twitch, dude. Just trying to see you like figure out how to play your own riff on guitar.
I'd be terrible. I'd be terrible, man. I'd be terrible.
I think that would be like half the allure of that video, you know, like just to see the master himself struggle with a video game, you know.
You might be right. You might be right. Maybe that's a good idea for the Twitch stream. That's for sure.
That's a viral video indeed. If I've ever heard of a viral video, like Swan posting, like every post-hardcore community on Facebook would like that would be like the biggest shit in the world. I'm just saying, like, just
well,
my
and
opinion.
Anybody that knows me and like at all knows like I'm not afraid to laugh at myself at all. I love to laugh at myself, you know, and it's just like it's just one of those things where I've never I don't know. I haven't had that opportunity that I felt was the right time to like try to jump into that and play the game, but I've seen people play it and it looks harder on the video game than it actually does on a real guitar to me, you know?
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. Like, I get it. I get.
I
think it would be cool.
the way it works and like all the stuff you have to do. To me, that looks more difficult than actually just playing FCP like on a guitar.
Got that eye hand coordinate. Maybe who knows, dude? Maybe it'll be like a duck and water situation. It'll just be like really awesome at Guitar Hero, like from the get go.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah,
you could be like
we'll
the
find
like
out.
the.
Maybe we'll find out. Maybe I'll take
You could
you
be the idiot. You could be like an idiot, like the Forrest Gump of Guitar Hero, and just like go the distance and just keep running. Like you could probably 100% every song on your first run.
No way. I don't believe that at all. That would be cool though. Just bring Guitar Hero back with the vengeance, man. That'd be cool.
Hey, I think Guitar Hero would appreciate you if you brought like some relevance to them. Because I mean, I think they're hurting a little more than like the Fall of Troy at this one. I think you're a little more relevant in this day and age.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. People just miss guitar.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you're active. I mean, you're actually on platforms. I mean, Guitar Hero hasn't been like, they haven't released a Guitar Hero in like 10, 15 years.
That is true. But now you have stuff like, now you have games that you can actually like have a real guitar controller, you know, and like do that. That is really cool.
Yeah, music games, rhythm games like Dance Dance Revolution, like all those games, like those definitely need to make a comeback. I think music games definitely need new life.
Yeah, definitely.
I would play Dance Dance Revolution if it had the Fall of Troy on it. I think that'd be dope.
I agree.
So let's see. One of your music influences, I think I've read this everywhere, that and the fact that you played shows with them and stuff, like was Deftones, correct?
Definitely. I mean, we just went 2 weeks ago and played 3 shows with Glassjaw, and that was fucking massive, dude. Like for me,
how'd that feel?
Amazing, dude. Amazing.
Yeah.
Like to be personally invited out by one of your favorite bands to do three shows with them and kick off South by Southwest at Mohawk for 2 nights and just us and them, like, man, that's like a dream come true, dude. You know,
that's gotta be like that's gotta be surreal for you, because like
it was very surreal.
Yeah, like Glassjaw,
and they were like, so cool. They were such nice guys, and like,
yeah,
it's kind of crazy that we hadn't met before, you know, because we all know people that know each other, and it's just wild that we had never met them before, you know. But
well,
now we have, in right place, right time, you know.
Without a doubt, dude. I saw Glassjaw because they played Taste of Chaos 2015. It was kind of like a big deal because Taste of Chaos had been kind of inactive for years, and like they did the 2015. They brought like a bunch of dope bands like The Movie Life, Adair, Story of the Year. Mark Hoppus did a DJ set, but to have Glassjaw on that like was just so sick.
Yeah, and like since those shows, like they played some of the stuff, like they played they played the Our Color Green EP like one of the nights, like as their encore, and like that's my shit, man. Like that stuff, and like the Coloring Book EP, and then like Material Control, like the kind of
Yeah.
more recent Glassjaw stuff, I really like a lot. Of course, I love Worship and Tribute and everything there is to know about Silence, but like the more recent Glassjaw stuff, yeah, it's just that's my shit, man. That's
Yeah,
my
I agree with you, dude. I love when artists continue to expand and just do like whatever the fuck they want and just kind of like give you like you like Glassjaw. This is Glassjaw. This is what Glassjaw wants to make. Let Glassjaw make it.
yeah, and like he's such a dope singer, man, and
Yeah.
like prior to those shows, they were supposed to do like a week in California and Los Angeles and stuff, and
Yeah.
Daryl has Crohn's, and they had to cancel all those shows, and we didn't
Mm.
know if those shows in Texas were going to happen or not, but he spent a few days in the hospital and got out and fucking came out and killed it, man. So shout out
Yeah.
to Daryl for fucking killing it, man.
I would kill for a Daryl Palumbo interview, but like another time, another place. So we've gone over your influences. So how do we go about how about we go about talking about the formation of like the 30-year war and how that became like the fall of Troy? Because I mean that's kind of like what the 30-year war is, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. So how did that like come about? Like you guys met like high school, right? Drumline?
Yeah, sorry, I was just playing some 30 Years War.
It's okay.
Uh, I'm just trying to think about it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like Andrew and I met in Drumline, and Jay, who's in Just Like Vinyl with me, was in Drumline in that same line,
Hmm.
um, which is really where technicality started to like be important in music to me. So like we were very uh, we were very like hardcore Drumline. Like we were very serious about what we did. It was very technical book. It was very like um God, I don't know how to say enough about it, as how much I grew as a technical musician. And I thought if I could take this and put it into what I know of like rock and roll, which at the time was kind of like Nirvana and stuff like that, kind of more grungy stuff,
Yeah.
if I could do that, then that would really be some. And that was also the time that I started going seeing bands like, the Blood Brothers and Pretty Girls Make Graves and Minus the Bear and Botch and band called Supine to Sit that was from here. There was just such a crazy uh, early 2000s kind of circle of bands up here that were doing amazing things, and also bringing bands up from like California and stuff like the Locust and bands like Daughters from Providence. Like, they had a whole network of bands that they bring out to Seattle, and I'd be exposed to when I was, a teenager or in my early 20s, that
Yeah.
have really influenced my music a lot, man. Like, yeah, any of those bands I just stated are very big influences on my music.
Yeah. So I have a question because like we've had the like because I mean we started out as like a Dance Gavin Dance podcast and we kind of like the proficiency in music like kind of doing like difficult riffs and technicality being important to kind of like showcase like a soundscape and whatever. Um, like what do you like? What's your take on people like? Well, what is your take on like why are you technical? Like what is the importance of being like a shredder and like being like super proficient at your instrument?
I don't think, I guess I don't think of it that way, man. It just kind of became that way. Like I said, I loved um, what's the word I'm looking for here? I loved the, like in drumline, you had to be, you had to be on par. You know what I mean? Like your hands had to be up to speed. You know what I mean? To even be able to play the book, to even be able to like hang basically,
Yeah,
and then kind of that all falling together in my understanding of what I could personally do with my own music, but then being exposed to all of these bands that were kind of doing that in front of me, you know, at the same
Yeah.
time. Um, it just all kind of floated together. And like, dude, I never meant to like become. I never wanted to be like the guitar singer guy. Like I said, I wanted
Yeah.
to be the drummer, you know, or like my dad was the bass player. It's just I ended up playing guitar and singing just because it was the easiest way to like write the songs and be able to kind of uh, put
Get
them
it done.
across to other people, you know, and I had
Yeah.
other people around me that were talented drummers. Or like when Andrew and I met, he had a lot of uh, like untapped talent, you know, that I knew
Yeah.
if I played with him, that if I played guitar and he played drums and Tim played bass, that we could kind of um, maybe I could push them in that direction, you know, and make that an important thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think it was never a conscious effort kind of thing, man, you know, but now it's definitely important to me because it's like I want to be I want to be out there with with everybody who's, you know, putting thought and heart and soul into their
Yeah.
riffs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like at your level and like the kind of music you release, I mean, it's got to be kind of crazy, like how many people come up to you and just be like, "Wow, dude, I picked up a guitar because I wanted to play like the riffs that you kind of play." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's also hard to see that though, Ryan, like um from the inside looking out, you know what I mean? Like it's I can't that feels like I don't know. I don't feel like I walk around being like, "Oh, that sounds like Fall of Troy," or "That sounds like Fall of Troy." It's hard for me to even tell if something does. You know, it's like because that feels like it would be like big headed of me or something. You know what I mean? But I also feel like I hope that I've had some kind of effect on the genre. You know, and like I
yeah.
hope that when
No,
I
you
hear
do. You
something,
know, like I don't think you need to say hope, dude. Like you have no idea how many people I know that love the Fall of Troy and tell me like on this show, you are one of like you like we hear Linkin Park a lot, we hear like Deftones a lot, but we also hear the Fall of Troy a lot. You are very influential. Like don't hope.
Incubus were a big one too for me
Yeah,
growing up. Honestly, Incubus and like even like the old Corn records and as
yeah,
far as like heavy music goes, you know, like that
yeah,
was some shit that really because I mean in pop music at the time when I was, you know, a youngster, it's like it was that or boy bands, you know, and like
yeah,
I mean I love Timberlake as much as the next guy, but
yeah,
I was not listening to Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I was listening to Corn and Incubus and stuff like
yeah.
that, you know,
New Metal, Metal
before I
slaps.
got into like underground music, you know.
Yeah. I have a question, Eric. Is it okay? My best friend Michael's here with me. He'll be at the 1720 show you guys play at Hell of the Sun. And oh, sorry. Um, he wanted to ask you a question, maybe a question or two, if that's okay.
Absolutely, definitely.
Michael Marquez, a good helper of the podcast here, wants to ask you a few questions. Here he is.
What's up, Michael?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, my friend. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Did a little K, did a little blue.
But shut up.
Edit that out.
He's just joking.
All right. So there's one thing. You're a great musician. You know you are. And I know you are.
I try
But
really hard.
I know you do. You try hard.
I
But
work hard at it, so
and
I would
you know
hope so. Let's put it that
what,
way.
your albums are one of the very few albums I could listen to straight through.
All of them.
Most of them.
All of them.
And that's a rare thing for me to be able to do with any album because I'm very selective about what I like from certain artists.
Yeah, I
Do you,
understand.
in your opinion, there was any time you produced something that you were not proud of?
That I was not proud of.
Yeah.
That you felt like don't put that out, and they're like, put it out. You're like, no,
Well,
yeah, put it out.
when we
I want so much.
originally did like the Ghost Ship demos or whatever,
Yeah.
like those were supposed to be just demos, you know, like those were supposed to be demos for what became Phantom on the Horizon.
Yeah.
And I understand people like love those demo versions for certain reasons. I love them for the same reasons, but the full vision of what that record is Phantom on the Horizon. So sometimes for me it's a little frustrating that like those versions came out before because it's like people were living in a time when they heard those songs, and like there's no way that us redoing that is going to touch them the same way as it did or initially.
Yeah.
But as far as like regretting putting out music goes, like, no, man, I don't think I've ever like put anything down or put anything out that I don't stand behind.
Yeah, that's a good way to actually, put your stuff out. You should always stand behind what you put out. That was a question I had, because I was like, you know what? So much of it is good. Is there anything he personally like,
But
Yeah,
it's just
like,
that's a good
that's what I
question.
was looking for.
it's a good question, Michael. Very
you.
good question. My friend Michael's trying to like get into this like whole podcast, but thank you for answering that.
Thank you.
Of course. And the only other thing I was going to say to Michael was that, like, initially when we put out In the Unlikely Event, it's like we knew we were going to split up after that. So we recorded a record that we wanted to hear ourselves play. And at the time, I don't think a lot of people totally got it,
Yeah,
But
I agree with that.
Now, it's like after playing shows, I go out to the merch table or go to the bar or whatever and talk to people, and I hear more than any other record people say, dude, when In the Unlikely Event came out, like, I hated it, man. I just did not get it, and now it is my favorite Fall of Troy record. And so, like, in a way,
Same.
that's totally validated it for me as well,
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I
dude.
did have my own kind of battles with it, where like I
Yeah.
wondered, like, oh man, maybe we should have like done the thing where we like thought about what other people cared about that album, but we knew we were done at that point, so we wanted to make the record we wanted to hear,
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, Cash Spicer, he's my co-host. He just came in the room. Like, he's in the chat with us. And Cash, go ahead, introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm Cash. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm chilling. It's been a wild week. It's been a good week, man, for music up here in Seattle.
Awesome. That's great to hear. I'm in my car right now. Let me pull over to this gas station real quick. And I'm like 40 minutes away from where I live, so. But
no worries,
I'm glad I could get on, man.
He's like, I gotta work tonight. I gotta work, bro. I gotta work. And I was like, bro, like, here's the link. If you find like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time you need, like, you need to be on this show, because this is Thomas Erak.
Yeah, totally. Well, and it's the same kind of thing. Like the other night, it was like when we played that show, it was a Wednesday night, but so it was a lot of people coming out to the show that I didn't expect to see at all. But then some of the people that I would normally expect to see on like a Friday or Saturday night, it's like they're all working, Yeah. So, but it was also just overwhelmingly like dope how many people came out in both of those areas. People that like even took work off to come see us play, or I hadn't seen in 10 years came out to see us play, or I haven't seen since Just Like Vinyl played last time, which was 5+ years ago. So
hell yeah.
I understand, man. We're all out here trying to just live, right now. It's not very easy.
Without a doubt. I feel that 100%, dude. Like, we're all trying our best, and it's like, that's kind of like what the whole like mission statement behind the podcast has always been, kind of like guerrilla warfare, like kind of just doing what we got to do when we can, how we can, and like we don't really care about like like, we're not the cleanest podcast on the world. Like, we're a little sloppy sometimes, but like I feel like being consistent with how much you care about getting content out is a little more important than that, like,
big time, man. And who you are working with and who's paying attention to you, because you also never know who's watching either,
Yeah.
Never know who's listening. So it's just like I was saying about it in The Unlikely Event, it's like now all these years later, a lot of people say that's their favorite thing. So it kind of has proved to me, like, just do what you do and trust what you do and believe in what you do, and you're probably doing the right thing, Yeah.
Cash, like, you missed it, but Thomas is a fan of our content. He actually checks out our page and keeps up with us.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so my girlfriend does too, constantly.
Nice.
Oh, we appreciate that.
You got me blushing, bro.
Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
sound.
I can hear you. I can
All
hear
right,
all y'all.
cool. I didn't really do a sound check, but
It's all good. Hey, Cash, you want to ask him some questions, dude? I know you're ready.
I'm going to get situated real quick. I thought I was gonna go to that gas station, but
Whatever
looks
you
like
gotta
it's
do,
closed.
I
Whenever
can pick
you're
it up.
ready, my man, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas is in your corner, bro. Don't worry.
Oh, I appreciate it, Thomas.
Yeah, of course, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
But I'll keep it going. So,
Well, before you do, what have y'all talked about so far?
well, in terms of timeline, I've gotten to the part where he formed like the Fall of Troy with the boys in Drumline, basically. So
Well,
I
yeah.
haven't.
All
And then,
right.
so then I had another homie though. Okay, here to tie that all together. I had another homie that I was like, I had started to like play guitar with, and kind of we got into like underground music together, like Sunny Day Real Estate stuff like that. I was really learning to play guitar kind of more technically with him, and so like he was in the picture, and then I brought like my boy Jay, and then Andrew, and then Tim together. Which Tim I was in like history and English class together, and he was just a great writer, and he lived down the street, and I knew he was a punk rock kid that could play power chords, and I was like, can you play power chords on a guitar? Can you play like Dead Kennedy songs? He was like, yeah. I was like, cool, come to my house after school, you're playing bass with me and my man Andrew. I'm like, so that's just kind of how it happened, and then we kept doing that all through high school, and then our kind of get together after school things to like practices kind of became parties, kind of became shows, that did become shows eventually, like it went from being 15, 20, sometimes 30 people in my basement to like us actually being like, maybe we should actually try to play some shows, to like us playing shows. And then Mike, the guy that played guitar with us, he just really wasn't one for like the live thing and the whole experience. It was too stressful for him, um, and so he left the band, and that's when the 30 Years War changed our name and became the Fall of Troy. But we just kept going with his blessing, and some of those songs on Muckle T Earth, like he helped write, and all that business. So we're still friends still this day.
Nice, dude. That's always cool to hear.
And then once the Fall of Troy became us three, then it was all hands on deck, and it was like, let's get a record deal and go on tour and get a van and never come back. And that's basically what we did until forever, basically, until shutdown happened. It feels like, one way or another.
I feel that, bro. Like, kind of put the whole brakes on the whole world, kind of,
Very much so, man. But that also challenged me in another way to kind of like take my art and try to use a different medium, which brought me to Twitch and stuff like that, with Henry kind of hipping me to that, and just kind of creating. Like, we had no idea what we were doing at first when we first started on Twitch. I was just like, look, let's just do a show, because that's one thing I know how to do, is do a show. So let's just use this platform and just use what cameras and what we got and do a show. And you have chat, so you can interact with the people that are watching you. And I feel like that's an important part of it, like for me, is to just keep in touch with the community, and keep keep my thumb on the pulse of what's going on with the people who are supporting me, but also letting them know that I'm grateful that they support me. And it was just a great way for me to just practice, make myself sit down and play guitar for an hour or two a day,
Yeah.
When I normally probably wouldn't at that time,
Yeah.
So
Without
that's
doubt.
a little off topic, but kind of
Nah, it's all on topic, bro. It's about you. So you all situated, Cash?
Oh yeah.
Hey, hit him up, dude.
I guess one thing I was wondering about was you were talking about drumline a second ago, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of wondering like how like starting off on drums like affected your guitar playing, because I noticed like your guitar playing is very percussive, and it like has it kind of at times it is like basically acts as percussion at times. I'm trying to think of what song it was where that really stood out to me, but I was kind of wondering how does that affected you, like starting off with drums?
Heavily. It's like to me, like guitar, when I first started out, I just kind of figured out it was drums with notes. You know what I mean? So, because my dad played piano, and I can play piano, I can play keys, but I don't see like the fretboard on the keyboard. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't see that way. To me, it was like the right hand and the left hand and rudiments and stuff that I learned in drumline. If I could do those on guitar and then match chords to that and like even tapping stuff like that, that really helped rhythmically, coming from a rhythm section type of guy, my dad being a bass player, growing up playing drums, guitar just kind of became like, how close can I get the guitar to being a rhythm section instrument?
And I think the song I was thinking of was Macaulay Culkin. Like at the end of it, you kind of like you get like a little beat on like palm muting there. So
oh yeah, a lot. Like definitely some like that's what I was saying to Ryan, was like the technicality kind of came into play like when drumline happened for me, because I was kind of thinking, what if I took all this stuff I've learned in drumline and could like put it in punk rock, somehow. And right at that time, I was also just starting to discover bands like the Blood Brothers and Botch and These Arms Are Snakes and Pretty Girls Make Graves, and started going to local shows when I was like 15, 16, So it was kind of happening in front of me, next to me, around me, and it was like, how can I fit myself into this? And that's just, and Andrew was in drumline with me, and we were kind of on the same shit. How can we orchestrate these two things we love together and bring them together as one? And that is kind of what the Fall Out Troy became,
Yeah.
All right.
Feel that.
Does that answer the question at all?
Yeah, that was a great answer for sure. I'll throw it back to Ryan.
No, man, keep going. I've been hogging him since you've been gone.
I gotta like find my notes on this, but you go ahead.
Yeah, I could bounce this back
I'm not quite totally. I'm kind of discombobbled for sure, but
so
okay. We'll come back if you have a question.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll jump in when I need to.
Of course. So to basically like kind of tie your career together, because like before Doppelganger, you kind of did like the 30-Year War. We talked about that a little bit, but Muckle Teal Earth, like
Muckle Tea Earth.
Yeah, Muckle Tea Earth, like that kind of contains like 30-Year War like demos that got reworked. And like that kind of
kind of the same thing with like the Ghost Ship demos, kind of same deal. Like that first like 30 Years War thing was like, those were like demos that I always kind of wished were done to the level that we heard them in our head. And so when we had, the time and the shutdown happened, we had like drum tracks and stuff for all these old songs. And it's like, yo, what if we finished those? And then Andrew went in the studio and just recorded 4 songs to a click track, and we started with drums and worked backwards because we wanted to just try that experiment. So those last 4 songs are that. So it was just an experiment, man, and it was also getting out versions of songs that I felt like to do them justice,
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. And I feel like you did, like Nike shoes, chain wallet, or if I got that.
Yeah, that's the one I was playing when you asked me that.
Yeah, I love that song. Like that ignites a fire in my soul. Like that, just the gas just never ends, dude. Like I could bounce to that shit all day. Like I love that song. I like everything you guys did on that, and like the kind of like, because like before we go to the beginning with Doppelganger, and like like the fact that you kind of like took it back and like brought people back, like with your recent release and your first release, and it's just like, it's really cool to see that you can respect the past and like embrace the future type shit,
For sure, man. I think it's important because like that's where we come from, and I think we heard a lot of that stuff in our heads, and we weren't quite capable of like putting it to our hands yet. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt, dude. Like just to have you riffing and like answering these questions to the instrumental to that is just the sickest shit I've ever seen on this show, to be honest with you. Like I think the only other band that's ever played their guitar on the show is a band called Swim Gustavo, and like they're super sick, but like I love them, but it's just like, you're Thomas Erak and you're shredding on my show, dude. That's just sick.
Yeah, more people need to play music on our show.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
that's always like awesome when it happens.
He's like setting the bar, dude. He's just setting the bar really high for every music.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Like Andrew Wells kind of just sang a little bit on the show, but this motherfucker pulling out riffs.
I mean, I'm just, well, like I said, I'm not trying to like be like that, but like I got my new guitar and it's just like sits on the couch and I walk by it every day.
Cash wasn't here for Cash wasn't here for it. Can you tell Cash what kind of guitar you have? Because I know how happy it makes you, and I know it'll make Cash happy.
Yeah, too. I just like finally got a Rickenbacker 650 Colorado after I've been trying to get one for like over a decade, man.
That's fun, man.
Yeah, and I mean I'm a Gibson guy through and through, but if I'm not, I'm playing Rickenbackers because I used to have a big 330 when we did the Phantom stuff, and like, but even back then I wanted this one, but I couldn't find it anywhere nor afford it, you know. So
without a doubt, dude.
Rickenbackers are cool. They have
it sounds good,
awesome tone too. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very nice. Wait, I have a question because you have a pedal out right now. Do you have one? Do you have one of those?
Like around me?
Not around you, but did you get one? Like,
oh, of course. I got multiple. I actually got one like custom made that's like it's actually like orange, which is like my favorite color and stuff. Like
nice.
Phil, the guy who hand makes them, he's from New York. He's from Syracuse, but he hand makes them, and so I actually now that we're getting into like art and stuff again, I was like played a bigger hand in kind of the design of like how the pedal looked and stuff. He made the pedal, sent it to me, and I was like, dude, we got to do something with this. Like, I want to put my name on this and like use this, and this could be like my signature pedal. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
he was just like blown away that I wanted to do that, and I was like, no, dude, I really like feel that strongly about this pedal, and it's doing really well. And he like hand makes them all. His name is Phil. He goes by CMC Guitars and Repairs. Like, we got a reverb. He makes them like by small batch, like 5 to 10 at a time sometimes. And like, but yeah, I got a regular one that's like the white one with like the Swiss cheese heart on it and all that business. But then I got one also that's like orange and black, like kind of Halloween colors, and it like has alternate artwork on it. It's just one of a kind. That will be on my pedal board. I'm on the trip of like trying to put together like a new pedal board now, but it's hard because I have so much stuff that like my pedal board I have now I've been crafting for so long. It's like hard to kind of put all these new things on and choose what old things to take off. So it's almost like I got to build a whole new one and then have my old one too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like to shout those dudes out again because I know Phil. He's actually a mod in the Fall of Troy posting, which I like run on Facebook. It's like a Facebook group.
Yeah. Phil, I believe his last name's Warren. Phil Warren.
Yeah, but that shout out that company. It's CMC Guitar and Effects. That's the triple octave.
CMC guitars and effects or guitars and repair. I think it's different no matter how you look at it, but it's CMC guitars. But
triple, that's your pedal triple octave manipulator.
The triple octave manipulator, the Tom.
Yeah.
Triple octave.
Triple octave manipulator, awesome. Like the record, and then I'm Tom, so the Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right for all the sound effects.
So does it make you go up 3 octaves?
It's really cool because it's like you can control like your regular just tone, right?
Okay.
And then you have a volume, master volume, but also a gain control of that, and then an octave up, and a master volume and a gain control of that, and then an octave down.
Okay.
From the regular and a master volume and a gain control of that. Aside from that, you also have a control of what kind of wave sign you want to use, and one of them has a sub, so that's another octave down. And then you also have like an overall master volume. So it's like it's
like a whole band right there.
It's a trip, man. It's a trip. It's a trip. It's like a one-man band, but it really works well for not only guitar but bass. I used it on a lot of like keyboard and organ stuff on the solo record I got coming up like pretty soon here, hopefully. I definitely have one. I got two of them. So
Hey,
they're
Thomas,
they're they're on a lot of stuff I've been recording.
Thomas, can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
Can you say on air so Phil can hear this that when you're playing a show that can he take video of you playing with your guitar like pedal? Wouldn't that be nice if he could take video of you doing that?
Phil already knows that.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it. And it was like kind of an event in the Fall Troy posting. He only takes pictures. I asked for video and he said
the last time that we played, I didn't have one on my pedal board yet because I hadn't had a chance to implement it into anything yet. Does that make sense? Because we were playing Doppelganger, which is stuff that's all so
but he doesn't
old.
like like the thing is he doesn't like taking videos at shows, and that was kind of like it's a running joke between me and him.
Well,
like
look, Phil can take any kind of photo or video he wants, but regardless, other people are going to take video and pictures of me using a tom pedal in the next year regardless. So I don't think Phil's got to worry about that.
Oh, I'm gonna make Phil worry about it. It's gonna be the running joke for
No way, that's the boy, man. That's the boy, dude. Shout out to Phil, man. He's really
I love Phil. That's why I made a mod of the Fall Troy posting, because I know he's got faith in you and he's behind you, and I love him.
I feel the same way about Phil, man. I feel the same way about him. He doesn't got to worry about anything, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fine. We'll just keep hassling each other. It'll be the funniest joke ever for now.
I think that's the idea, man. Like, if the hard time's not there, then like, where's the good time, you know?
There you go. That's the best way to put it. Damn, Phil, we're gonna have to keep saying this shit to each other forever now.
Yeah, but that's the reason I haven't had a tom on my board yet. It's just like we've been doing, like, you know, Doppelganger tour, fucking blase, blase, blah. But for the upcoming dates, I'm going to put one on my pedal board because now I've, like, kind of learned how to implement it and stuff, especially now that we're going to be doing, like, the 15-year manipulator. Like, I can definitely fit that pedal into some of the.
So I guess because when the demo team comes to shows of artists that support us, we try to support you. So we're going to be live streaming that for our page. And I guess I'll have to.
You talking Swanfest?
No. I'm gonna be at Swanfest, but 1720 Tom's gonna be at Chain Reaction, 1720, then Swanfest. I'm gonna try to be at all of those shows because Tom's the boy and I love him, and I will drop any amount of money to get into those. They might be sold out, but
now I'm kind of wondering what your tour's looking like.
Well, don't worry about it. If anything, I can get a couple of you guys into those shows, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I'm from I'm in Texas, so
I know, but I'm saying if you're coming up for those shows, don't worry about if they're sold out or not, you know.
Okay.
If you need somewhere to sleep, Cash, you can sleep on my couch.
All right. Well, I might be. I mean, depending on what my tax return looks like, I might be doing some stuff for Swanfest. But
right on. Well, if you're around, like, don't worry about it. Like, I can get a couple of you guys in, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very kind of you to say.
We appreciate that. Yeah,
we appreciate
it. Ain't no thing. It ain't no thing, you know.
Of course, and we'll bring money to buy some merch because I want to.
Oh yeah, I mean,
hey, that'd be even better, man. Then it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
more of our money is gonna go towards you. I think if we're not having to pay service fees to get inside the gate.
I mean, like my favorite thing to do now is just buy merch from people who I've interviewed. That's like, whole point of living.
That's how we all still get by, guys. Like, honestly, like.
Yeah.
It's all still tickets and t-shirts, no matter what anybody tells you. You know, you can be online doing the Twitch thing and all that, and it is a great way to, like, you know, make a little extra scratch when you're not able to, like, tour full time, kind of like me, because Fall Troy, you know, Andrew's got 2 babies and a wife and a whole family and stuff, and it's like Just Like Vinyl just got back together, and we're still feeling things out. My solo music, it's harder to get a band together to go out and tour. It's not like I'm getting the kind of guarantees with Thomas Erak and the Shoreline that I am with, like, the Fall of Troy. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So it's like, it's definitely a thing where if you guys are supporting bands and artists that are out on the road, it is still the way that they eat, sleep, and shit, you know, like tickets and t-shirts. So support them that way for sure. I heavily encourage everybody to buy merch from bands that are on tour that they like. or any artists on tour that they like.
Of course, that's the energy
Yeah.
to have. The best energy to have. Like really,
Oh yeah.
support music. Like that's the dream here. So
And shirts are awesome. Like, who doesn't
yeah,
want an awesome T-shirt or sweatshirt? If you get a sweatshirt, yeah, get a sweatshirt from an artist.
if the band
That'll make their day for sure.
if a band's selling socks, you should probably buy some socks. Is what I'm saying.
And that's, yeah, for sure.
You can never have too many socks.
Yeah, everyone needs
Or
socks.
you know what? If you have too many socks, buy a pair from the band and donate the other ones because a lot of homeless people, that's like a big thing on that.
Yeah, as
that
a
there's
former
a shortage of.
as a former homeless person, I can attest to that socks are extremely important. Please donate socks to the homeless.
You know what else are really really cool, like nowadays, and I'm seeing and people seem to love, and I would have loved back in the day, is like flags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we have the big fetuses, like that is our backdrop. Like when we play live, we just got a big black backdrop of the fetuses, and we made those as like smaller but flags, and man, people just love them, dude. They love them.
Keep it going, man.
I see bands out there like doing flags, and I encourage bands like do flags, man. They're cheap to make, and people love them, and they love to hang them on their walls, and they love you to sign them, and all kinds of shit. Flags are tight, man.
Yeah, I'm down with it, bro. I need me a flag to wave.
Yeah, take them to a festival and put them on a pole and wave them around, right?
Why?
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean,
that's
we'll
more
put 'em on a
European,
merch
but
table, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I'm
they're
talking about the
useful.
people in the audience. That's like people do it like big festivals and stuff like that. But I mean, you can probably pull it off. You might be able to pull it off at Swan Fest. Bring a flag in.
Yeah.
You might be selling them at the merch table, so
Yeah,
go
you can put it all together right there.
leave your one at home, buy a new one at the show. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any left. I know we sold out of a bunch of them, but I have a bunch of merch of like my solo stuff that still hasn't come out yet, but will be coming out. But I have flags that are the little Swiss cheese heart thing, and like have my name on them, and those are pretty cool. Like on the few like solo shows that I've done, they've sold pretty well. So
Hell yeah, dude! I'm all about that.
flags are tight. I fuck with flags.
Fuck with flags. That's the new word of the day. You got to start fucking with flags. All bands out there, it's a good investment for your like homies and fans to have something to wave around. Everyone likes waving flags.
Oh yeah. Let your freak flag fly.
There it is. There it is.
So, moving forward, so we talked about like going back to the beginning. So, like, what happened with Doppelganger? So, like, that's the album that got you guys signed, and that was pretty much like the ignition to the flame, you know?
Definitely. Well, like Doppelganger was like it came out up through the self-titled, like, and the self-titled, we were already out, like, touring over 250 days a year and stuff, and Equal Vision signed us, and they wanted us to like put some of the strong songs that were on that record on Doppelganger, just because we were on a very small label. The record hadn't sold a ton, basically just what we sold out of our van, So they wanted us to do Symphony, Wacko Jacko, and FCP, and Mouse Like Sidewinder Missiles. And it just the other three I stood next to, and I feel like we just did kind of souped up stronger versions of those songs. But then with FCP, it felt like on the first record, it was kind of it wasn't quite what I wanted the song to be. And by the time that we got to recording Doppelganger, I was like, okay, I like this hook is fire. I love this song, but I want to make it like a rock song, like a rock anthem, instead of kind of like, it's almost like an R&B kind of like cut, like on the first record, like the bass line carries the bump, 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 like part, like through the whole song. And kind of speeding up the beats per minute and giving the guitar the lead in that song and having that chorus really come together, like it really it made the song pop in a good way. That's why it's FCP remix, because it's the remix to the original version, you know.
Awesome, dude. Like so like because like the definite difference between like the first album version of FC Premix and like, you know, the full long gated version, like
Right.
what made you guys like decide like because like I feel like if it was in its original version, like it would have definitely stuck out a little more on the album, like as more of like a slow song, because everything's kind of like high octane. So like what made you guys decide like, okay, everything needs to be fast as fuck and blow their minds?
I don't think it was so much of the subconscious efforts as just it felt right. It felt like because FCP, even as a fast rock song, like the remix version, even though it's a fast rock song, it still feels like a big anthemic kind of like ballady chorus. You know what I mean? And then it has that big middle section that's crazy, but ultimately comes back to that big anthemic chorus. That's what the song's all about. When we wrote it, we knew that's what the song was all about. I just wanted it to be more of a rock song, you know, because we had also wrote Act One, Scene One, which for me was like the ballad of the record, you know.
Yeah,
so course. There wasn't too much thought to it, man, other than, you know, we'd been playing the song for a long time and we just wanted to switch it up and just kind of like kick up the octane on it a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Blow it
Are
up.
there any other songs?
I mean, that's what the label wanted the song on the record. So how can we find a way to do this song again, but not just do it the same, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Were there like any other songs from that first record that you wanted to change for the second one? Because I mean,
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like we also did Symphony, Wacko Jacko, and Mouse Like Sidewinder Missiles, and they're just more realized versions of those songs.
Okay, yeah.
Listen to them, you know. They're
but it's not like
it's
not nearly as like changed as FCP
No.
remix. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no. I think FCP Remix was definitely just like at the time the label recognized it as being a single. So there was a lot of like kind of like thought put into that and how do we want to approach it? And I just thought approaching it more as like the hard rock band that we are, but also showing our melodic side a little bit more than maybe some of the other stuff on the record, and also showing the fact that we can write a strong hook and have choruses in our songs, but still have them be crazy and take left turns and right turns and so on and so forth was important to me.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a great ass answer. I like that.
Yeah. It's just the true answer.
Yeah. Sometimes the truth rings hard, you know? Like people need, like when you hear the truth, it's like, wow, that sounds great. Well, it's because it's true.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it other than
it's just what happened.
We were out playing that song for years before we recorded it on Doppelganger, because we recorded it on the first album. Even before that, we've been playing it for a long time, you know? So we just wanted to change it up, you know?
Hell yeah. I dig it, dude. I'm all about it. Like that's such a good vibe, like to have. And like I worked
and it kind of, I mean, this is kind of a good segue. It's for like how like the whole Guitar Hero part of it. I don't know exactly which one it was on or when that came out, but like how did that all come together?
I mean, that was mostly like a label thing, and like we had a good management team at the time called Velvet Hammer that worked with like Deftones and so on and so forth, and it kind of came through that, and we were really lucky. We talked about this a little earlier, but at the time it was like radio was on its way out, video games were on their way in, the internet was on its way in, and Guitar Hero 3, which was the big one that we were on, that FCP was on, it was just this whole it was one of those things that comes around once in a generation, you know, that really just like blows people's minds and really gets them paying attention to what's going on. And so that was like better than having a hit record for us at the time. There's definitely people listening to The Fall of Troy because of FCP Remix being on Guitar Hero than we ever would have just had at a Fall of Troy show, you know, because we were coming and playing in, you know, Denton, Texas on some local tour, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I don't think you realize how many people have said like Guitar Hero FCP Remix was like their entry to like all this music. So
Oh, I think I do. I think I do.
okay.
And I'm really grateful for it. And people think like you would be salty at that, but like, why the fuck would I be salty
Oh, that's
at that,
awesome.
man?
I
You know,
mean,
it's awesome. It's so cool. And
Yeah.
like,
you
it's better, dude. I'd rather be a Guitar Hero than a one-hit wonder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One thing we were talking about this earlier, Cash.
Oh man, wow.
Like,
Well,
no. Like, I want
yeah.
to like we're like further illustrating the fact that like on this show, like the Fall of Troy is up there as one of the most referenced bands, like Linkin Park, Deftones, like people who like mention like Blink-182 and stuff. Like for the bands that we have on here that are like proggy, post-hardcore, like the Fall of Troy is usually at the top of the list of like bands that are influences.
And it
Well,
was
we were
Guitar
kind
Hero
of we
usually.
were one of the first ones kind of doing that thing in the way that we were doing it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
but it also stems from the bands before us, like the Blood Brothers and At the Drive-In, and even like Rage Against the Machine, Incubus, you know, like
Mm.
we can do this forever, like where it comes from for me. But I do understand that, like, in the vein of what we're talking about in your guys' podcast, like, yeah, that's very cool, man, that like we're gonna that's all I ever wanted in my whole life, was to just like be remembered for doing something important musically, you know? So like in a way, I'm just like very grateful, like that is something that is recognized to people beyond myself, you know, and probably people beyond myself more than myself, because I don't go out looking for people that, oh, that sounds like the Fall of Troy, because it's I can't like just assume that someone has a Fall of Troy record, you know? Like just because someone plays pull-offs and plays guitar good, that doesn't mean they're influenced by the Fall of Troy at all. But
Yeah.
it could mean they kind of sound like the Fall of Troy, which to me that just means that's some badass riffing, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I see it as a compliment. If anyone
Yeah,
compares
that's
you to
what I'm
Fall of
saying.
Troy,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
That's what I mean.
without a doubt. So like you mentioned like At the Drive-In, which kind of makes me think of Mars Volta, which kind of just makes me think of the fact that you were in the same band as Thomas Pridgeon for like a second.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I brought Thomas Pridgeon into Chiodos for that second.
Really?
Yeah. Him and Joe Troy from RX Bandits, because you know there was just kind of a revolving door there for a minute with Chiodos, and Pridgeon was just a guy that I had become friends with just kind of through other people, mutual people. Like my Orange rep knew him and connected us, and we were trying to do something together. And you know, we needed a drummer, and Pridgeon, you know, fortunately for Chiodos, like at the time they could afford him, and so it afforded him a gig for us to be the two Toms playing together, you know. So that was great, man.
It was such a good like one of my like greatest blisses online like to do on YouTube is to look up those like years that you guys were all in, like just the revolving door lineup, like the final days of Chiodos. It's just like it was like the dream team, you know?
Yeah, there were some great times, man. And then after that, after Chiodo split, and just like vinyl became like the thing I was really doing hard when Fall of Troy was kind of split for a while too. We went on tour with Thomas Pridgeon's band, the Memorials. We did a U.S. tour with them and A Lot Like Birds.
Super sick, dude. Like it's just like two dope ass bands, just like back to back reference, just good stuff on top of good stuff, you know? Like
so us getting to play together kind of made it so we became homies. And then when we kind of split off and did our own things again, we came back and like did them together. You know, it's all about that community of trying to lift each other up. And I just talked to Pridgeon probably like not even 2 weeks ago. He just called me out of the blue just to shoot the shit. Hadn't heard from him in a minute, man. And he was just like, man, Erak, I just feel like I haven't talked to anybody in forever. I was like, man, everybody feels like that, man. You know, it's been 2 years of a lot of kind of loneliness and uncertainty, you know.
Yeah.
But it's getting a lot better now.
I hope Pridgeon is well, and I hope you are well, and I hope you guys get to play another show together, even if it's just fucking around, you know?
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. That's like definitely something we spoke about too, is like let's get together and record some shit. You know what I mean?
That would be dope.
Oh, awesome, man.
Like some shit. I'd really like to get with him like on our own. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Be able to like just make some shit that him and I want to make together. Like
that would be something that I would be very excited to hear, because as with all your projects, with all collaborations you do, it's just like you bring something to the project and you bring something out of artists, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's a thing that like it's been spoken about because like I said, like Andrew from Fall of Troy, like he's kind of the red light, green light of Fall of Troy because like, you know, he's got two kids, little kids. You know, he's got an infant and like a 2 or 3 year old and a wife and a home and a job, a bit like, you know, big boy job at home. So we do these like fly out things or like we'll go on tour for a week or two if we can, you know, but the realisms of life are different than when we were 21. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a couple times where it's been offered where Andrew's been like, you know, we have this offer to go to Europe and I just don't think I can swing it, dude. But like if you want to, like I fully support you calling up Thomas Pridgeon and asking him to do it. But for me, dude, without Andrew on drums, it's not the Fall of Troy, and I just refuse to play under that moniker without him on stage with me.
Mad respect.
Just because it's always been Andrew and I, you know, like Fall of Troy has always been Andrew and I. So
and it's not like you don't have other things to do, you know?
that's true. It's just I think it's hard because like people definitely know me as like the Fall of Troy, and that's understood, and I get that, you know. And so it's not like I could expect something like Just Like Vinyl or Thomas Erak and the Shoreline or you know Tom Sarak or whatever medium or moniker I'm going to use in the future to put out music. I can't expect that to carry what the Fall of Troy has, right? So for me, it's been difficult because it would be cool to go out and like do, you know, a tour with Pridgeon on drums playing Fall of Troy stuff. But at the same time, to me, that would take away the full essence of like what the Fall of Troy is to me. And the Fall of Troy to me is me and Andrew growing up together, learning together, you know, and writing and performing together. So without him, it's just like I might as well just do another project with Thomas Pridgeon, you know what I mean, and start all over. And that's just kind of one of the hard truths of the music business or industry. You know, it's like just because you had one thing that was big and worked, it doesn't mean that just carries over into your next thing that you do. You know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, without a doubt, dude. Like I couldn't even argue with that, you know.
But I love the fight for it, man. I do. I love the fight for it. And like I said, Just Like Vinyl played for the first time in 5.5 years on Wednesday, and the show was packed and it was great. And I feel like it was a show that needed to happen. And our friend Zeta played. And if you guys haven't checked out Zeta, you definitely should. You would love them.
Yes, you would.
Right.
I already do. So I'm like, oh, Thomas is putting me onto a lot of good music lately. If you guys just check his page out, check out who he adds, check his stories.
Yeah, that's very real, man. I really am. I'm not bullshitting when I talk about what I like and what I'm into and I'm trying to promote. I'm very real about it, man. And
I'll be sure to send those tracks that we promoted at the beginning of the episode. Maybe you can find some more people that you fuck with that love adding people, and like they'll at you back, of course. I'm sure.
Big time, man. And you know, and I'm here to promote you guys as well, man. If I can ever be a helping hand to having any guests or anything like that, I would love to facilitate that. I'm a connector. I like to connect things that I like, you know.
I mean, we were talking about Daryl Palumbo of Glassjaw earlier. If you could help us with that, like that would be awesome.
Man, I mean, I would love to facilitate that, but like I don't even know him well enough yet.
Of course.
I just met him. So
I feel like, hey, you know what would be a good idea though?
I'm still basking in my Daryl shine, man. You know?
If we could manage, like, if like, you know, of course, like, you know, if you could help, cool. If not, but if we could manage to get him himself, like by ourselves or through somebody that knows him, like, if you want to come back on the show and learn about him with us and ask him questions, you're welcome.
Man,
that would be
awesome.
Love that.
But like I said, I don't even know Daryl enough at this point to even.
I mean, we were lucky enough. We've been lucky. Yeah, we've been lucky enough to score some. I mean, we got Andrew Wells somehow. I mean,
Andrew's
he hit us up,
nice
right?
guy. Shout out to Andrew Wells. As well. And
he's a really nice
and
guy.
Sergio
awesome.
and all of them, man.
Yeah. That's how we got Andrew on. He hit up Sergio and asked, like, don't you know one of those guys? Weren't you on that show? Can you like help me connect with them?
Have you guys had Donovan from Hail the Sun on?
No, we haven't yet. I talked with
I
him. I have his brother's number. I'll say it, and so
That's a
I
guy.
need
That's a
I need to
guy
hit him
you
up.
should have on your show, man.
All right.
we're working. We had Sergio on. We've had we're gonna have his brother on as well, but
Yeah. His brother's
Sandy,
dope
but
too, man.
yeah,
But
we're supposed.
Donovan wears many hats, man. He's not just
Yeah,
the singer of Hail the Sun. He's also
he's a big.
yeah.
I've seen him at the
He's
17.
the biggest booking agent in the industry right now. He's Fall of Troy's booking agent. He's
Yeah.
my personal booking agent. He also flies planes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like, he's a
every time
pilot.
every time I've met Donovan is at a Fall of Troy show. So I've met him at almost every single show that you've played at 1720. He's always kind. He's always giving with his time. I've asked him several times, but I mean, he's a busy guy. So, you know.
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
yeah.
I could maybe tell Donnie maybe he should think about doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
I'm fly to your jive.
I'll go from the other end. I'll talk to his brother and see what I can do. But
I mean, I'll just straight up hit up Donovan and be like, hey, you should get these demo team podcast guys like a minute of your time for sure.
I think I'd like that.
I think that'll work for us.
Yeah.
We're not.
That's just the guy that comes to mind because he's so very important to like my immediate music career. You know what I mean? Like, and he's a big piece of like why Fall of Troy is even still going right now. So
mad respect.
Yeah, much love to Hail the Sun.
Much
love to Donovan for sure.
Nova Charisma, all of it, dude.
Yeah.
All his new solo stuff right
now. Nova too, and he just put out a solo record, man. He's killing it, and he's got all the Kill Iconic stuff going on. Yep. It's crazy.
That was a nice magazine, by the way, that you were on.
Yeah, did you guys read that article?
Very spicy. I like it.
Yeah, it was very it was very nitty gritty.
I think if people are listening, they should go to killiconic.com and go buy a copy of that magazine.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I think that Yvette Young was just on the last one.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all the homies, you know. That's all the homies. Yeah. That's the circle right there. Like
one of
the Iconic and all of that, you know, and the whole Swan family and all that, you know.
Yeah, since we're talking about Donovan, like the first time I met him was actually at the 1720 show where Sergio got ejected by security.
Almost got ejected, and then we stopped playing and got that security guard bounced out of his own club, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That show was the last show I went to before pandemic. It was actually the night.
Like, what are you doing? Pulling my man's off of the stage for no reason, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so like that's basically getting fired, right?
Man. That got spicy. That got heated for a second, but
like those videos. Yeah, Sergio was on the show. He talked about. He goes, "You can find that online. Like, go find that show, and you can see how it happens." Like, and he goes, "It's not like." He was like, "I wasn't even doing anything. I was just telling dude that he needs to do his job."
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything wrong at all, and the guy just started dragging him out, and we stopped playing, and like Andrew got out from behind the drums, and there was a whole thing, man, and.
It got spicy.
That guy never worked for 1720 again.
Yeah, that got spicy. I mean, like you guys, if you're work security, you got to take care of the crowd, and it's like that whole thing happened because security wasn't doing their job.
100%, and ever since that show, 1720 has been amazing. So, shout out to them and for him.
Shout out to Travis. He runs a very good establishment.
Big time, dude.
We had Derek on the show, Derek Bloom of From First to Last. So we're mad homies with the From First to Last boys. We love those guys.
Cool, man. Right on.
Oh yeah, we talked to Skrillex all the time. I'm just.
I got a picture of Skrillex. I got like food. That's it.
I met him like a really, really, really long time ago when I was like a kid, you know, and like.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like he was at like a Chain Reaction Fall of Troy show. We were on tour with somebody. He was really nice guy.
Yeah, I met him at the Boardwalk, and I met him at Club Avenue in Pomona. Like, I met him when he was doing his Sunny Bells, like, you know, the Sunny Sound, kind of like after From First to Last.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. I love that music he made with that, and like the fact that he used that as a blueprint for his like career that like blew up into the stratosphere is like really cool.
Definitely. Very impressive. Very smart guy, man.
Yeah, like I was born the same year as him, so I was just like, okay, if he can do super cool stuff, I should probably try a little harder in life.
Hey man, you're doing some super cool stuff. You just got to keep doing it. That's all.
Yeah, I gotta. I've been. I'm I'm very proud of what me and Cash have created. Like Cash is the creator of this show. Like he started a post and like my homie Moses like tagged me in it and he was like, "You should get this guy on the show." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll be on a podcast."
And
I
now
mean,
it's become something like way more real than it was ever meant to be, kind of, you know?
pretty yeah, honestly, that's true. And I don't think we could have done any of this stuff without Ryan, to be honest. He's kind of I think the mastermind. Well, I mean, like he's the mastermind behind like everything. Like I
Yeah.
feel like honestly, I don't think we really
Hey,
all I
pull anything off
it
without.
sounds like my
We
band.
quit after a month without him, basically.
Sounds a lot like the Fall of Troy to me, man. It's just it was us jamming in a basement, and to me, it still is. But you know, it's
You
taken
know,
on this whole crazy life, and like I couldn't be more like grateful for it. You know?
I used to record this in my attic, so it's basically like me and Ryan have been jamming in my attic. So,
Yeah.
and it's still kind of like that.
Man.
So,
Same difference, man.
without a doubt, man. Like I feel like that to everybody out there that's trying and grinding on something, like if you're not getting the reacts or you're not getting the attention you think you deserve, just keep at it. Just keep going
mhm.
and just try things a little differently each time.
Just
Oh,
keep
I mean,
just keep getting try to get better at what it is you think you need to be better at, and just keep going. That's all. Just
Hmm.
keep going, man. That's all you can do.
and keep
Yeah.
learning too. Like, there's so much that
Forever.
I've learned, like from just doing this, that like I had no idea about. Like, that's the thing. You kind of actually you had to actually try it to like figure it out. You
That's right,
can't
dude.
you can't figure it out without trying. So
That's like how the whole Twitch thing with me happened. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew that I was gonna make something out of it. You know, I was gonna make it happen some way, and uh, I'm about to like start doing a lot more of that again as well. You know, it's just like it was like I did that a lot during the shutdown. Then the shutdown kind of stopped, and like music started to kind of happen again. So I've been focusing on that, but I do miss the whole kind of like Twitch thing and being able to be in touch with the community like so straight up, you know.
Without a doubt, dude. I get
mhm.
it.
We need to
So
get on
I'm
Twitch.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, we need a Twitch. We need that Thomas Erak like Twitch magic. How would you recommend somebody to get into Twitch? Like we've never done it, and you seem like a pretty good hand at it. Like being able to like do
Honestly,
stuff.
dude, Henry, who plays bass in Fall of Troy and Just Like Vinyl now, is the one that like got me into it and like does all the technical stuff, and now he like hosts it with me. Um, he's like kind of like the Jamie to my Rogan. Let's call it that. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And so like he just was like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and then finally, it was just like we weren't having band practice, we weren't doing anything. It was just like I said, an excuse to get online and stay in touch with people that supported the music, but also a way to like play music and practice and get music out there and get our message out there in a time that we couldn't actually go out there and do it physically. So we're gonna do a stream tomorrow, actually. So I'm
All
pretty
right.
excited.
We'll try to have
Uh,
this episode by then, or sometime in
well,
the near future.
Yeah, no
yeah, I don't
worries,
know
man.
about
No worries.
tomorrow,
Regardless,
but
I'm gonna be trying to stream on Twitch, like a couple times a week here in the next few months. So
all
trying to
right.
bring that energy
Hell yeah, dude! I'm all about it. Like I'm stoked to see you do it. I'm stoked to see what else you got in the pipeline for that
in the
because it's
bag, in the bag. Yeah, for
the
sure.
bag, that magical bag. So I think we've like I want to like cover Manipulator because we've kind of like jumped around your discography. I think Manipulator we should say for last because that's the tour you're going on here in a sec.
Yep.
So if we could bounce to one section that like I try to shoehorn in every once in a while,
No,
but
that's
like
good. That's good.
I'm really excited to talk about this because it is in fact one of my favorite like easily top 10 records of my life, and it's like your album with Chiodo's Devil, which I think like your presence on definitely helps create like a once in a lifetime type feel to it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It was interesting. It's like there's things about that record that, of course, like I mean, I was the new guy, It's not like I
Mhm.
just could come in there and like steer the whole ship, but they definitely gave me a pretty good free reign to like play whatever I want and do whatever I wanted. And I did have a big hand in writing a lot of those songs, you know?
Without a doubt. Like on like when you say writing those songs, you mean like on a structure, like drum or lyric, or do you mean
Everything level. Well,
everything?
Craig wrote the lyrics to everything, you know? Like for
Yeah.
sure. But as far as like drums, like structural as songs go, like Bevis Bullock is one of my songs.
Yeah.
Expensive Conversations is one of my
Yep.
songs. You
Yep.
know, I mean, there's countless. You can tell, you know, the ones
Yeah.
that are like definitely heavily more my influence and stuff. But um, there's some other songs on there that are just fucking awesome, man. Like "Looking for a Tornado" is a great song that me and Craig
Hmm.
wrote together.
Yeah.
Like me and Brad wrote the what's the first song called with the big piano intro on it?
We're talking about Practice.
Yeah. Me and Brad spent a long time writing that one, and like it was very collaborative, man. The whole record
Yeah.
was super collaborative in different ways because it was like different people at times. Because when it first started, like I was out there working on the album with the band like for like a month or two before Craig came out and started like working with us, you know. So we
Yeah.
kind of like set the ground, and then we kind of tore it all apart and like put it back together, and like went
Yeah.
out and did demos and did that whole thing, man, and did the whole record. And I think it's an underrated Chiodos album for sure,
With
man.
dude, hardcore motherfucking yes. Like I agree with that. Like it, I feel like one thing that definitely like I wouldn't say hurt that album, but I feel like the time it was released was kind of like after the post-hardcore bubble kind of like
Yeah.
popped, because metalcore took over. And I feel like metalcore totally fumbled the ball because it all started sounding the same really quick.
Yeah.
And they and like with post-hardcore, like I feel like yeah, the market got over.
We were just trying to make a rock record, you
Yeah,
know?
without a doubt. But I feel like at that time, people were looking for all that stuff that sounded the
I know what
same.
you mean. I know what
Yeah,
you mean. They wanted to hear the old Chiodos meets the Fall of Troy, you know?
yeah.
And
And it's like,
really, if you listen to it, there's
that's what it is.
plenty of that in there.
It's what it is.
But
I think,
but but we all wanted to make like a pop rock album, like a
yeah,
good one, like a heavy
yeah.
pop rock album, and that's what we did. And I think it was just a little ahead of its time, honestly, dude.
Honestly, yes, I agree with you. And I feel like with the music market at that time, like streaming was just coming in, and
Very
like everything,
difficult.
it was just like everything. It was a perfect storm of an album that came out brilliantly. I feel like it's just unappreciated in its time, and as time goes on, all I hear is praise for Devil, because it's just like
Yeah. Well, we
it's
were
like
saying earlier, it's same thing with like In the Unlikely Event. Very similar things that I see happening with that. You know, like people didn't love In the Unlikely Event by Fall
yeah,
of Troy when we first put it out because we made the album we wanted to hear us play, not what we thought everybody else wanted to hear us play. You know.
I agree with 100%, and I just like I think like people need to appreciate the fact, like, because like I'm sure you've heard complaints about like why do they have songs like 3 a.m. and Duct Tape and like Under Your Halo, and it's just like, bro, Thomas Erak is writing those songs, like he's doing a different style and
Well,
he's
those. I mean,
killing it.
also to like not discredit anybody, but like you know, like 3 a.m. was like a song that we were like, let's write like a banger, like pop rock, like anthem song. Like that was a collaborative. Duct Tape, that was like a Craig song. Like
Yeah,
I don't even think I played on Duct Tape, you know? And then like Halo was actually a really dope like ballad, man. Like
yeah,
that that was totally a Craig song too that he wrote. That is a beautiful song, I think, and I loved playing that song live. It's just
yeah.
people were looking for us to.
Play
I think
Baby.
they wanted us to do more like Bevis Bullock, Expensive Conversations kind of stuff. But
I
we didn't just want to do that. We wanted to like
mhm.
really spread our wings and make a good well-rounded rock record,
Yeah, I
and
feel
have some
like
hooks, have some catchy songs.
if people didn't like, I feel like people didn't get that FC premix, like Baby Wouldn't Last a Minute, like intro riff in a song, and they got butt hurt real hard. And it's just
That's
like
crazy.
come on,
I never even thought about that thought.
you
You
know
know
what
what
I
I mean?
mean?
Kind
Like
of now that you said it, but at the same time, like I don't know, man. Like we're not 16, anymore.
Yeah.
It's like
And it's not to
we've already
discredit.
done
That's
those
not.
records.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not even to discredit that record because it's like that record debuted at number 12 on the Billboard,
Which is a big deal for
which is a very big deal because post-hardcore at that time was not selling at all. Like
It
they
was
did
kind of
not.
the end of that, yeah.
It was the end. Like you have to be like Pierce the Veil or like A Day to Remember to even get close to that.
Oh,
Which
it
is
was
totally
2014.
different. I feel like Chiodos at that time was such a darker, more deep kind of band.
Yeah.
We were really making an album that we cared about. Like
Yeah.
we weren't trying to just make a radio rock album. We were trying to make like a really great rock album. That we wanted to hear again.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's what you guys accomplished. I feel like as time goes on, people will realize because I feel like at the time, like definitely metalcore was the thing. Sad boy rap was about to just take off, and it was
I
just
mean,
like,
I
Which
remember
is great.
I was gonna say I had gone from being a scene kid to like a hipster by that point, so I was like I didn't really care that much about Chiodos at that point. I mean, I'd still love them, but like I was like I was like Vampire Weekend and like Arcade Fire all the way at that point. So
Yeah, and I think we were trying to kind of take Chiodos out of the idea of what Chiodos was, and kind of like
yeah,
step it up into like a more mature thing.
yeah. And I was not Cash. I was in the gym listening to Chiodos because Devil was stuck like the whole year it came out without a doubt.
That's
And
dope. That's dope. But I understand what he's saying,
yeah,
like,
I
and I
get
think
it. I get it.
we come from a similar kind of like idea. Like we were all in different places making Devil than we were when I was making FCP Remix, and
Yeah.
Craig was making Baby Wouldn't Last a Minute on the Creek. Totally different dudes,
Yeah. Without a doubt. And like I feel like as time goes on, that record will stand like taller as a pillar of like sound for people that like
I hope
for
so,
me,
man.
for me, that album, like I was like my 20s were not a good time for me. It's like 2010 to 2019. I had like some rough patches, like
Those were rough years, man.
yeah, and like I had gotten like a mental diagnosis in like 2011 and like coping with that for years.
Yeah.
Like take medication to just kind of be normal, like stable, and like I was working at a like as a cashier at a fucking like college, and it's just like you see young people enjoying their lives, living it, and like reaching their dreams and shit. And you get a record like Devil in 2014, which is kind of just like, dude, same. Like life sucks right now, and it's just like you're gonna live with regret. You're gonna live with like problems, and you're gonna make mistakes, but you shouldn't let those things define you and just keep moving forward. You can
That's
be
right.
different.
And sometimes what you think at one point, because people tell you it's a mistake, like later on, dude, it becomes one of the dopest things ever. It's just a matter of time sometimes. Like you're saying, like I think Devil will have its day. You know what I mean? I hope it does.
I do
Because we worked hard on it. We did. We
Yeah.
worked hard on it.
It shows without a doubt. I feel like it does. I hope the general consensus becomes a little more forgiving to it because I mean Chiodos at that time had gone through a lot of drama, and I feel like that drama kind of like left a little bit of a stink on some people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it's just like I mean musically
I don't have a lot to say towards that. I'm just look, here's my take on it is I've known those guys since we were all young and touring.
Babies.
We did our first US tour with Chiodos, and I've been friends with all those guys since then, through all that, through the drama, and we're all still friends now.
Yeah.
So like it's for me it's just a totally different take. I just want to see them be successful at what they want to be successful at. Craig has drugs going now, which is awesome.
Yeah. I would kill for a drug. I would kill for a drugs. Yeah, I would kill for a drugs and Fall Troy tour. Like that would be dope.
That would be dope, man. I'd kill for like a drugs just like vinyl tour. I'd like to see just like vinyl tour more.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's. I mean, I am the moderator of the drugs cartel. Like I do that for Craig Owens. So maybe I'll forward that over, and maybe we can get a couple bumps on this video.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in touch with Craig too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, anytime he comes through town, I try to see him, and likewise when I'm out there, it's like we're still tight. We're still homies. You know, through all that, everything good and bad has been water under the bridge, and we're still close. And I still care about him and love him very much. You know what I mean? So I just want to see the homies be successful, and ultimately, man, looking forward. I got a solo record coming out in the next year. I got a little 4-song project thing I'm doing with my buddy. That's kind of a secret right now. That's all I'll say about that. But also, like, just like vinyl, just played our first show in 5.5 years, and we have started writing what it will be our next full length. And I would like to see that band fully come into itself and be back on the road. And Fall of Troy is the Fall of Troy. It ain't going nowhere. You know?
Yeah, of course. It's gonna stand the test of time because I mean, I don't
It
think
already has at this point.
Mhm.
I feel like, man, like every time I thought it was over, it's like Andrew and I like, let's just stop breaking up, dude, because we just keep coming back to it. So, and we'll be putting out new music in the next year or two as well. So
I'm with it,
All
dude. And
right.
I want you to know, like, with all your music, just like with Devil, just like with Fall of Troy, just like Vinyl, Thomas Erak and the Shoreline, like Pushover. I mean, I take pictures of my Pushover hoodie because I'm proud of it. I love that hoodie. I'm honored to
I
have
hope
been.
we do more with that project too, man. I talk every time I see Kurt, we talk about how we got to figure out how to get another pushover record done.
Yeah, one and two. Like I wish they were on streaming so hard because I just want to hit the replay button. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's some of my favorite shit I've done, man. I love
Yeah.
pushover, man.
I feel like you guys got lightning in a bottle, and it's like I love saying perfect storm situation. It seems like it's got to like the stars got to align and the cosmos have to correct
That's
themselves.
a fact. That's a fact, but in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, I feel like you don't experience time, Thomas Erak. Time experiences Thomas Erak. You know what I mean?
Time signatures experience Thomas Erak.
God damn, or I experienced time signatures. One of the two. I would say that's a hell of an equation you just put together, my man.
we like being a little transcendental here. I mean, we do a lot of gonzo shit. I mean, we just try to like
No,
have
I'm
fun.
with it. I understand, boys.
You got the Hunter S. Thompson look going on, dude. I'm with it.
Yeah, man. You know, for a long time, I was talking to my friend yesterday, and for a long time, like I went from being kind of like a dorky band kid in high school to like being in a rock band and being like a cool guy in a rock band. And so you know, my identity with fashion has always been kind of confusing because I've always loved fashion. I love it. It's art, man. You know, to me, it's self-expression, it's art. But also at times in my life, I felt like, is this, am I superficial because I like to like wear things, or because I had like to have a nice fit, you know what I mean? Like, but I've learned, like, no, dude, it's just I have style, and that's okay because I like fashion because I'm an artist, you know, like it's all good. But I don't know where that was going, but I was just talking to my buddy about it the other night, and we just kind of had a similar struggle with kind of thinking we were maybe too superficial in a scene that shouldn't be too superficial. But it's not that we're superficial, it's just we dig fashion, you know.
Nah, I dig it, man. That's cool. I mean, I wish I had more money so I could buy more clothes. Honestly, I love clothes. Honestly,
Well, that's not
I
what
love.
it is, man. It's definitely not money.
well, I'm not saying
You
that.
gotta get those sponsorships,
Well, you got.
man. That's
Oh
where it's
yeah,
at.
all right. Yeah, that's true. You get the sponsorships.
Go to
Yeah, I was
good.
gonna say.
Hey, it doesn't even
Yo,
take
I
money,
Goodwill,
dude. Like
yeah. Oh, yeah, go to
Goodwill, you
Goodwill.
can
Yeah,
thrift shop yourself into a very swaggy look,
you're
bro.
right.
Like,
You're right.
there's nothing wrong with.
Hugely.
Oh,
If
yeah,
it were
for
about
sure.
money, boys, I'm not the one to talk to about that because I'm still a paycheck to paycheck working musician at the end of the
Yeah,
day, you know.
I feel that,
I
but
am.
if you want a peacock over there, Cash, you just need to, you gotta just be brave and
You gotta
not.
get
I know.
sponsored by Peacock.
Well,
A,
You gotta get the
I
zoo
need
to
to go
sponsor
out
you.
more first off, so I'm not like wearing like sweatpants all the time. But like,
That's true.
yeah,
And you
it's
know what?
like,
And when you do go out, though, it feels good to put on
oh, for
something,
sure,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
without a doubt, I feel it, dude. So we've pretty much gone over like a lot of the cool stuff.
On
So
that last note, I would like to shout out a clothing company from Chicago called Straight to Hell. They're
yeah,
the shit, and they're very, very, very cool to me, and I love all this shit. So
hell yeah.
they're at the
All
Straight
right.
to Hell.
Go ahead. Like everybody go over there right now. Pause the episode, go over there, check out the clothes, go buy some, come back,
I'm looking
come
up right now.
get dressed.
If you
And then
ever want to
watch
buy a leather jacket in your whole life that will last the rest of your life, Straight to Hell is the way to go. Not the cheapest shit in the world, but it is worth every dollar, dime, nickel you spend on it. I promise.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah. Where'd you get that
Maybe
hat
a-
from? Where'd you get that hat, Thomas?
This hat was a gift actually from a friend for my birthday, but it's an actual real Stetson, which I lived in
Yeah.
Nashville for a number of years, and I have a saying in Nashville that every real man once in his life needs to own a Stetson. And I had heard that, that thing, and I thought it was funny, and I said to my friend, and we were in Hollywood, and I had my old hat, and it had gotten all fucked up in the van. And my friend Nancy and I went to this hat store in Hollywood, and she fucking bought me a real Stetson for my birthday, man. And that was
That's awesome, man.
big thing. So that's why I've kept it nice all these years, and I've had it for a minute now. And also, it's kind of my ode to the Undertaker, to be honest.
That's what's up, dude. I'm
The
all
dead
Stetsons
about
are
it.
man,
nice hats, man.
The dead man.
My grandpa wears a Stetson every day too, so
He's a real man,
Yeah.
supposedly.
mm-hmm.
I'm not stating that these sayings are true or not. I'm just saying that's what they say, and I thought that was.
Hey
a
man,
funny
if they
saying.
say it, it's got to be true, man. It's got to be.
I have learned it. It's true, man. It's a badass hat, and
I
it's
think he
really
would wear it
lasted a
even
long
though
time.
he's bald.
I mean, I'm not bald either.
No, I'm not talking about my grandpa, but
Yeah,
you got
I mean,
beautiful hair.
even when I do go bald, if I ever do, like I just rock the Stetson, it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He would
Yeah.
still fuck. The dopeness.
I think you're good though on that regard. I think you're gonna be all right with your
Yeah,
hair.
well,
so.
my mom's dad, which supposedly your hair comes from, when he passed away, he had stark white hair like my mom has now. It's almost like platinum blonde, but he still had a full head of hair, at like 90
That's
years
usually
old when he
it
passed
skips.
away.
Yeah,
it's they say it skips a generation, so you should be fine. I think you'll be all right with your head of hair.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so.
I like my hair too, and people will tell me to cut it, and I'm just like, I want to be like a cat and hiss at them, like, get away from my hair.
Man, I can't get rid of all this energy, man. All this
Yeah.
energy up in here, man.
I'm
It's all
Samson,
there.
bro. I'm Samson. I need my hair, like,
Yeah.
get off
All those shows, they're all in here, dude.
Yeah. My DNA, it's in my hair. It grows out. I can't get rid of it. Anyone that tells me to cut my hair, I'm just like, nah. Like, just no.
Yeah,
So
yeah. My friend Henri, who's in Dark Time Sunshine, shout out to Michael Henri Osborne. He was like, fuck. Last night he was like, fuck it, Tom. Just get a sick fade, dude. Just go fade on him. He was like, you could if you wanted to. I was like, yeah, I don't want to though.
I mean, you could always do a sunny undercut if you wanted.
I mean, yeah. Well, at one point, like when we first started, just like vinyl, and I was going through my Fall Troy is not a band. I'm not in Chietos anymore. Like I just shaved half of my head, and so I kind of had the undercut thing going on. And it was cool for a second, but then it was like, oh man, I got to grow it back, and that took a while. But when it was like shaved down, it was cool. It's cool little like weirdo look,
I dig it.
But I'm with the natural, just like let it go, baby, like
it's all me. It's all me.
Let it go, let it grow,
Yeah. All right. So we've had you on here about 2 hours and 13, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to awesome, man. That's awesome, man.
I mean, the record
feels
right now,
more like an hour 15 for me, but
well, I'm glad you jumped in on it. I'm glad you jumped in on it.
Yeah, me too.
You've only made
great,
it better.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Marquez for jumping on and asking a really good question too. I think he went.
Yeah. Shout out to Michael for sure.
Yeah, that's the homie. But we want to talk about Manipulator and the tour you're doing for it.
Yes.
And the awesome bands that you have on that. Like you have In the Background, Sea Space Cowboy, Hail the Sun. Like, yeah, it's kind of like the preview teaser trailer for Swanfest.
Yeah, I mean, again, I got to hand it to Donnie with all of that, man. You know, he is the great architect of kind of what Fall of Troy gets to do, like beyond. I mean, it's kind of a thing where we say, Donnie, we can do this. What can you make happen? And he makes these amazing things happen. So, like, big shout out to Donovan Malero, man, for putting it together. And Manipulator's turning 15 years old in like August, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like happy 15th birthday, Manipulator. So we're gonna do it like that this year.
Hell yeah, I'm stoked for y'all. Like, that's a really good thing, man. Because Manipulator, I feel like of all your albums, like, I definitely feel it gets the love it deserves, but I feel like it's kind of like a middle child for like some people.
Yeah, until they see it live, then it's like the kick your ass like Big Brother. You know what I mean?
I feel it, dude. Like, Sledgehammer is one.
Those songs are my favorite to play live, I think, for sure.
Sledgehammer, dude. Like, I heard Sledgehammer live, and I was just like, that's the shit right there. Like, that's so good.
X Creations, dude. Fucking yeah, that album is. But you also got like you know, like Oh the Casino is on Manipulator as well. That's one of my favorite Fall.
Oh, that was
yeah.
Mana Plan, Canal Panama.
Mana Plan for sure. That's a gauntlet of a song for sure. I'm psyched to play that. We haven't played that very many times live. You know, and Cut Down All the Trees and Name the Streets After Him, I think, is one of our strongest opening songs, period. Like, we opened with that the first night in Austin with Glassjaw, and it just tore the roof off. So.
And is that, you just played that, right?
Yeah.
I almost went to that, but I went to see I Met a Yeti instead, I guess, is what happened. But
good band as well.
Yeah, yes, but and I met Kari, but yeah, and I didn't have to go to Austin to do it. But yeah, I'm kind of sad I didn't see Glassjaw, but
well, it looks like there's going to be more chances, you know, for y'all to see Fall of Troy, and I would assume Glassjaw probably too.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
Hell yeah. Hopefully, maybe Fall of Troy can do some more dates with Glassjaw in the future. I'd be down for that.
That sounds like a good time for sure.
I'm down for
that.
So, like, with Manipulator, like 15 years, how does that feel? Like, it's like your child being like a 15-year-old. You're almost ready for a quinceañera.
It's a trip, man. It's a trip, man. Yeah. Fucking Manipulator is getting its learner's permit. Be careful out there on the roads, you know. She can almost drive, dude. Be careful.
He's a danger to society.
Yeah, she's dangerous out there on the roads. That's for sure.
She'll manipulate you. So
streets is watching, you know.
So one song that I always get referenced from that album is a Man, a Plan, a Canal, a Panama, which is a palindrome. Like
a big palindrome, yeah.
Are you a fan of palindromes?
I am. I mean, at the time, definitely we were. Like, we were. The whole like initial idea of Manipulator was to like make the album a huge palindrome itself, like even musically, where it would like kind of start how it finished. But A Man, a Plan, a Canal, Panama, if you listen to the song structure itself is almost a palindrome, but we just had to keep one part of the song in that made it a little different because we liked it too much. But it sticks pretty close to that. That was the initial idea for that song particularly, was to make the song and the structure a palindrome.
Is that something you could bond over with Craig Owens making palindromes?
I mean, there's a lot more than me and Craig can bond over than just palindromes. I mean, we've been in the same scene for our whole lives, you know. But yeah, I'd say so for sure.
Yeah, he definitely likes palindromes too.
Yeah. I think we all do. I think like
they're fun.
We were in that same circle where, like, you know, naming your songs, fun shit, and all kinds of stuff like that. It was like
actually
definitely same kind of thought processes.
I saw a good palindrome today. If you'd like to hear it,
I would love to.
All right, go hang a salami. I'm a lasagna hog.
I've heard that one before. That's
okay.
That's pretty good. That's
a fun one.
It's
very Italian.
Mine was Mom Race Car Mom, but
yeah, I was gonna say just race car, but that's about as far as I'll go.
All right.
I will say, like, Mr. Owl Ate My Metalworm is a pretty good palindrome.
That was a good
That
one,
is a
man.
really good one. I didn't realize that was a palindrome.
That's what I was kind of referencing.
Yeah,
from,
yeah. No, I knew there was one in there, but yeah, that's the one.
There's another. He had a couple. I think Laminated E.T. Animal was the other palindrome.
Yeah, that's the other one.
And on the new album, I think it's fuck. I would have to look it up, but like he has another one on the new album, and it's like it's in parentheses, but it like totally like it's dope. It's dope that they're still happening. I'm happy for palindromes in 2022. You know,
dude, I feel like a lot of good things are maybe not so much coming back as just kind of like evolving into their like full form. You know,
fully evolved.
Yeah.
I feel like 2019 when I got back in the scene, like a lot of the word that was thrown around was because we love the word here. We got to spread the word. But 2019, like everyone was trying to get the scene.
Oh yeah.
And
2019. Yeah.
And then we got 2020. So I guess that's what happens when we try a little too hard to revive something.
But actually, it seems like it's finally being revived and to
Maybe
a
like
pretty huge
2020 teen
2020
2020
scene.
I don't know.
It's 2020. It's 2019 part 2 Electric Boogaloo. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good too. But regardless, it's like after the whole like world shutting down and wondering if I was ever going to be able to get on a stage again in my adult life, like it's looking pretty good out there, boys and girls and anybody else, you know, of course.
Everyone's loved here.
Non-binary, whatever it is that your heart desires.
Like it's all love. That's all it is.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Shout out to everyone.
That's right.
So usually I don't want to like it's like almost 3 a.m. for me, and I'm sure it's almost 5 a.m. for Cash. I wanted to wrap things up with you. Maybe ask you like, what have you been listening to lately?
Well, let's see. I'll make it quick. Like just right off rip. Definitely since we went and played with Glassjaw, I have definitely been back on the Our Color Green EP that they did. It's like 6 like kind of like singles they put out, but they finally put them all together as like a release. It has like All Good Junkies Go to Heaven and You Think You're Fucking John Lennon, and I'm definitely on that Glassjaw like kick the last 2 weeks. Other than that, I've really been listening to a lot of my friend Henri Osborne, Dark Time Sunshine, and also my friend Chesky, CESCHI. He's from New Haven, Connecticut. And that's about it for right now. And just like vinyl, because we practice every Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Good practice day.
See you next Tuesday.
Of course. Oh, that's a good band too, right there.
Good song.
That
by
is,
Kesha.
So, I guess like with it getting late and everyone getting ready for bed, I want to just thank you, Thomas, for coming on here. Like you got a record. Like I think you and Kurt Travis have about the same amount. My homie Michael.
Man, I think Kurt's got me topped, man. He's proficient, man.
I think he had 2 minutes. I think he had 2 hours 15 minutes. You might break his record, which will make you the second longest episode.
Well, look, you know, I'm not surprised. Me and Kurt have a lot in common. Shout out to Kurt, man, for sure.
Yeah. So, my homie Michael wants to say goodbye and thank you for letting him ask a question.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. It was good. Thank you for answering the way you did.
Yeah,
know,
of course.
To be honest.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
I've always looked up to you. You're a really dope guy. Yeah, I hope you keep creating more music. I'm gonna go back in there and get a little drunk.
Yeah, keep the party alive. You know, take care of yourself and others. Behave, be safe, and be great, man.
Yeah, it's a good boy. Michael's a good boy. He's been helping me out a lot. He's the one that brought me out to Arizona. I'm gonna be able to record like a vocal feature. I'm able to go out there tomorrow. Probably should get some sleep before I go walking into a recording booth. But
you definitely should, man. You definitely
because
hydrate.
Hydrate and plenty of sleep. American Standards. That episode's probably gonna be coming out here pretty soon. If you've never heard of American,
we gotta do
We got
I
a
gotta
lot
do
of stuff.
Sunwell like Monday because
Yeah.
we've had that one up for like for like a month now, and then
Yeah,
after
we've
that
been
we can
a
kind
little
of
behind. Well, everyone gets busy. Well, I
Mhm.
mean,
Hey
Sunwell,
man, you guys are busy. That's good. You know.
yeah,
better
better
to be
than like
busy.
than to be doing like nothing basically.
Yeah. Hey, let's keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll keep those engines turning, man. We're here
Oh
for
yeah.
it. But Thomas, we are very appreciative of you, and we're very thankful of your time. And we just keep being you, dude. Like we're here for you to be you.
Man, I love that. And shout out to Demo Team Podcast, man. You guys are the shit.
Well,
Oh,
thank you so much.
That's a great ad right there. I think everyone
Yeah.
would love that.
Hey man, I only speak the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. So
Well, we
Thomas,
appreciate you speaking the truth to us today, man, or this morning.
Well,
you take care.
stay in touch, my man. You know,
Of
and
Yeah.
course, of course,
again,
I'll
take care of yourself and others.
I'll be
of
seeing you
course.
at 1720 in Chain Reaction. So
Yes,
we'll,
stay in touch and let's link up for that.
Hell
okay.
yeah.
We can grab a bite to eat or something. My treat.
I'm down. I'm down.
What's up? All right, man. We'll let you go. Take care of yourself, Thomas.
All right, take care, gentlemen.
Have a good
Bye.
morning, Thomas.
Yeah, you too. Later, guys.
Later.
Peace.